I feel like I talk about these games in every single video I do. I've been working through these. I bought this game on the Switch, and the game has so much input delay that it's like unplayable. So I was waiting for a better version to come out. So all the games from that compilation, while they are like knocked off the backlog, they're actually kind of in this weird limbo. I kind of pushed them to the side till this better version came out, and I'm replaying them in a playable form now. But it's from the Psycho Shooting Collection Volume 2. And this one is Samurai Aces, which they label as Sengoku Ace. And it's right there. See if it'll focus. There we go. Look at that. New camera for the win. For the win. Do people say that anymore? Is that like 12 years ago that was popular? Anyway, let's talk about it. So like I said, I played this on the Switch twice, and it was unplayable due to the input lag. But this is an arcade game from 1993, and it works the same as like the other Psycho games, really. This one's set in like a steampunk feudal Japan setting. Some kind of like horror aesthetics, which I really like. But the way it works, you have 6 characters, and you play through 7 stages. And the first 3 of the 7 stages are randomized from a choice of 4 stages. So there's like stage A, B, C, or D. And it will pick either like A for stage number 1, and then D for stage number 2, and then C for stage number 3. And you won't play B this time. And then the next time you play, it'll pick, you know, C first, and then B second, whatever. Which is fine, but the stages are not equally balanced. So if you draw like a bad order, you might get a really easy stage for your first one, and then the harder stage is stage 3, which is, you know, ramped up in difficulty. But it's fine. The graphics are really cool, you can see. And the setting is different, which I like. Unfortunately, the music, like most Psycho games, is pretty repetitive and boring. Like I said, it's the curse of the Psycho games. The music has never really set with me well. But what's really good about this game is that the levels are like pleasantly short. And this is a really good effort because, believe it or not, this is Psycho's first shoot 'em up, I think. Maybe it's their first game. And I think this is a really good effort for your first game. And it kind of set the groundwork for the other games and made that archetype that they follow. And, you know, kudos to them. They did a good job. As for the way the characters control, you have your, like, normal standard shot. And you can hold it down to charge it, to release a charge attack. And some of these are really beneficial. Some of them are, like, basically useless. But the charge attacks take forever to charge. I mean, forever. They're almost to the point where they're useless. You can get more of a damage output, you know, just doing your standard shot rather than holding down the charge button for like 5 seconds or whatever it takes. On top of that, this game has that garbage where as you power up, your power-ups wear off over time. So what happens is the power-up icons, they kind of drift down, and you have to keep gathering them to kind of add more to the timer of your power-ups. The problem is that the freaking power icons, they only come down to like the top half of the screen. So you have to move up to the top of the screen to chase them. And they're usually faster than the ship, so you're chasing them all around, and they like lead you to certain death. Like if you go up to the top of the screen to try to grab one, and you've got to grab them because you've got to stay powered up. The game is designed for you to stay powered up all the way through. You know, you'll be chasing one up to the top of the screen and trying to grab it as you slowly follow it around, and an enemy will, you know, zoom in and blast you out of nowhere. The other problem is that these power-ups, a lot of times when they're released from the enemies, instead of like bouncing down towards you, they just bounce straight out of the top of the screen. So there could be an enemy that's like in the top 10% of the screen, and you kill them, and the freaking power-up like shoots up instead of down. So it even starts further away from you, which just exasperates the whole problem. Also, this game has 7 difficulty levels, just like all the Psycho games I've played, that range from the insultingly termed monkey all the way up to like extremely hard. But the problem with this game is that there's not much difference between the 7 difficulty settings. In the other Psycho games, I could put it on monkey difficulty and like 1 credit cleared on my first try. Then I move up to the child difficulty, and I usually credit cleared on my first try. And then I get to easy, and maybe takes me 1 or 2 attempts, and then, you know, I can knock out normal in about a week or so. This one, on monkey difficulty, it is almost as hard as it is on the hardest difficulty. Like, I worked on monkey for like 2 weeks trying to get the 1 credit clear, and then on the same day after doing that, I was able to 1 credit clear it on very hard, that is poorly balanced, and it makes it a really frustrating experience for somebody learning this game, because you can't really ramp up the difficulty. That being said, I think this is an okay effort. You know, it was their first game, and it's got some kinks in it that need to be ironed out. There are no training modes on any of these games, on these collections, which is frustrating. There's no save states, there's no way to go back and replay the levels, or just the little part you want to work on. So I was struggling with the final boss on this, and I could get to like the last level without ever getting hit, and then I'd blow through all my lives on the last boss, just to have a chance, which was really annoying. Also, some of the trophies are bugged on this. I have all the trophies for this part of the collection for Samurai Aces, but the one for beating the game on like monkey difficulty, don't have it. I got the trophy for beating it on the hardest difficulty, but the one for beating it on the easiest difficulty doesn't unlock. And a lot of other people online are complaining about that as well, which is really annoying. Because I worked really hard to get that, and I wanted to get all the trophies for this game. But such is life. So how was Samurai Aces or Sengoku Ace? It's okay. It's a valiant first effort, I have to say. Not Psycho's best game, not their worst, but a decent enough game. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 on this compilation. It's pretty good. Unplayable on the Switch, though. Really unplayable. It has the worst input lag of any of the games on the compilation. So if you're going to play it on emulator or the PCB, buy the arcade machine, or try out the PS4 version.